Hi everyone, my name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm a multimedia and 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States, which is 10 a.m. if you're in Australia or 1 a.m. if you're in the UK. I hope all you guys and girls are well and you had a good Easter. Didn't eat too much chocolate. I broke out in a pimple. And I didn't even eat any chocolate. Anyway. Do remember, guys, if you miss the live streams, you can catch up at any time by clicking the videos tab at the top of my Twitch page. I upload all of my previous streams. I cut out the intro at the beginning, the countdown, and I upload all of my streams. So if you ever miss one, that's where you can catch up and watch them. You can also follow my YouTube channel at Phil Does 3D. Because I upload all of my Twitch streams to YouTube, but my YouTube channel is a few months behind my Twitch channel because I'm an affiliate. Pardon me. I'm an affiliate on Twitch and I have to give exclusivity to Twitch for a certain period of time. So if that's why you're wondering why YouTube is so far behind, that's the reason. Also remember too, if you want to wishlist the game that I'm making, which is what we're going to be working on today, you can do that on Steam by clicking the panel in my stream, below my streams, or typing exclamation Steam, I think it is, in Twitch chat. That'll give you a link to the Steam store page. Anyway, let me just grab a quick drink. Okay, so as I said, we are going to continue working on the House in the Hollow game. We're working on the study for that game. We're going to be working in 3D Studio Max and in Substance Painter. Painter is great software if you want to do texturing 3D models, particularly. You do have to pay for it, unfortunately. It's it was bought by Adobe from Algorithmic not that long ago, but it is good. It is worth the money, and it's actually better than Quixel Megascans. I'm sorry, guys, at Quixel, but your software is still not as good as Substance Painter. I'm sure maybe eventually it will get there, but it's certainly not at the moment. Okay, so if you've got any questions, please feel free to pop in the chat and ask me. I'm happy to help you if I can in any way. If you just want to pop in and say hello, that's always welcome. But if all you want to do is watch, that's completely fine. Alrighty. So let's jump straight into it, into Max. Let's work on this cigarette case, I think, cigar case. Why not? The cigars are already textured up. We'll just texture up the box in Substance Painter. And we're going to start by... Well, we have to UV map it actually, so let's do that. I'm just going to detach the clip here. We don't have to. We can send everything attached to Ryzen, which is what I'm going to use for my UV mapping. Smokeberry Barbecue says, question, why do you hate free software for every day? I don't hate free software. I love free software. Blender is a 3D program that is completely free. You don't have to spend a cent. Cookie, it's good to see you, Cookie. So I don't hate free software. That is wrong, Smokeberry Barbecue. You are wrong. I'm just telling it like it is, I'm afraid. Quixel's, what do they call it? They call it Mixer, I think, don't they? I do have it installed. Quixel Mixer is not as good as Substance Painter. I'm calling it as it is. It is free, so, you know, you can't complain too much because it's free. But it's not as good as Painter. Painter has a lot more functionality than Mixer, Quixel Mixer. Cookie says, what? Phil hates 3D software? I knew it. No, I don't hate 3D software. Like I said to you guys, you use what you can afford. That's the most important thing. And Blender is a great 3D program, and it's completely free. Cookie says, sorry, got to troll some more, Phil. No problem. It's good to see you, Cookie. How are you? How are you holding up in this brave new world we're living in now with the human malware going around? We're calling it human malware. We're not using the C word. Just to be on the safe side with YouTube and all my videos going up on YouTube. Smokeberry says he thinks money should be thrown at corporate juggernauts like Adobe. No, I don't. I don't think that at all. You're putting words in my mouth. I'm just saying, having used both, if you can afford to throw money at the corporate juggernaut Adobe, it's money well thrown when you compare it to Quixel. But if all you can afford is Quixel, which is free, then use Quixel. I'm not here to tell you people what to use. I just give you my opinion. Cookie says, I'm managing okay. Fits my introversy lifestyle. Your introvert lifestyle. Sniper Girl, it's good to see you, Sniper Girl. Cuban cigars for me. Oh, yuck. Ooh, yuck, cigars. Ooh, gross, 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 gross. You should not be smoking. No one should smoke. It's bad. It's a bad, bad habit. This is coming from somebody who was an ex-smoker. Like, I gave up 10 years ago. And I'm glad I did. Now, anytime I smell cigarette smoke, I can't breathe. It's just horrible. Horrible. So don't smoke. It's bad for your health. Cookie says, not had to change much because you're such an introvert, hey? Well, that's just it. I mean, it's been really funny, actually. And this is Phil Does Just Chat, isn't it? The number of people that have found it really hard to work from home, or even just to be locked up at home, even if they're not working, not being able to go outside. Whereas someone like me who spends most of his time working from home has not found it much of a difference at all. So I can relate to what you're talking about, Cookie. But a lot of people are finding it very hard. A lot of the guys in the studio, because now the studios that I work for, we are all working from home because we're all in stage 3 lockdown, which means you can't leave the house unless it's for an essential service like going to the supermarket, going to the doctor, or if you must go out to work. A lot of those guys and girls are finding it a bit difficult at the moment. Sniper Girl says, good to see you too. Feel the same way. Don't smoke. Couldn't help it. No. Well, good. That's good to hear. I'm glad you don't smoke because it's disgusting. I'm sorry if anyone watching is a smoker. I used to be one. Nothing worse than a reformed smoker, as they say. And the smell is just terrible. You smell like an ashtray. Just the smoke smell. Whenever I smell cigarette smoke, I can't breathe. I literally can't breathe. I don't know what that's all about, but I hate it. Hate it. Hate it. And my sense of smell and taste came back dramatically when I stopped smoking. You don't realise just how much you lose your sense of smell and taste when you're a smoker until you stop, and then it all comes back. It was amazing. And trust me, this is coming from somebody who was a chef, who is a qualified chef and used to be a chef, which means that your sense of smell and your sense of taste are very important for your job. It was quite incredible to realise just how much they were affected by smoking. Sniper Girl says, hello to everyone. Sniper Girl says, I miss going to work. I've heard that a lot from a lot of people who have been forced to work at home at the moment, don't like it, say they get more done when they're at work than they get done at home. And they don't like it. They want to go back to work. They want that social interaction, which is understandable. I mean, we're social creatures, human beings. We like to talk to each other and interact with each other. And when we're forced not to be able to do that, then a lot of people find it very hard. But as I'm like Cookie, I'm used to being stuck at home anyway. So, well, I'm used to working from home. So it's not been a big adjustment for me. Having said that, you guys know I do have to go in a couple of times a week for meetings and stuff. So, well, I used to. That's on hold at the moment. So I get where you're coming from, Sniper Girl. A lot of people say they miss going into work. Just going to remove these latches. Bill should get some work done. We'll try anyway. Can't be all just chat. Of course it can. That's why I'm on Twitch. Again, that's why, guys and girls, if you do ever have any questions for me or want to talk to me, feel free to pop into chat and say something, because I'm not here to work. I'm actually on Twitch to encourage you guys and girls to do 3D and artwork more than I am to do the stuff that I'm doing. I mean, don't get me wrong, I need to do some work for the game, but I like talking to you guys. That's the whole reason I'm on Twitch. Sniper Girl says, I'm good when it comes to working. I get probably more work done here than at work. Only time I socialise is at work. Well, and so Sniper Girl says, and random Ubers when needed. No, I'm the same. That's one of the reasons I started working from home to begin with, was because I get much more done at home. because I find when I'm at work, half of my day is taken up with meetings, generally. You know, it's a meeting for this, a meeting for that, a meeting with such and such, a meeting with Joe Blow over here, or it's being, if I'm sitting at my desk and working, it's having people come up to me and talking and asking questions, all that sort of stuff. So I tend to get a lot more done at home. And that was one of the reasons I started working from home, because I found that I was much more productive, and it was my choice. I asked the studio if I could, and they said they could, so. Now they just bother me via instant messenger or phone me up on my mobile or email me all day long. So, yep, I get it all. And I don't mind working from home. I'm used to it though. Okay, let's start sending these bits and pieces to Rhizome. Again, Rhizome is a program that you can purchase if you want to do your UV mapping. You don't have to purchase it. I'm not saying that you must. Smurfberry, I'm getting in before you type anything, because every 3D program has UV mapping built into it. I like Rhizome because it gets the job done much more quickly for me, so that's the only reason I use it, because I hate UV mapping. It's a really important part of 3D, but man do I hate doing it. Yeah, so that's the reason I'm using Rhizome. You don't have to buy it though, you can rent it, subscribe like every other piece of software on the planet now. You can pay a monthly subscription to use it if you've just got a short project you need doing and you want to get your UV mapping done real quick. Instead of buying a software, you can lease it, subscribe. So, but you don't have to. Use your 3D software. Blender, free, has UV mapping built in. Might take you a bit longer to get your UV mapping done, but you'll be able to get it done in Blender. Or nothing. Okay, let's send the box over to Rhizome, shall we? Actually, before I do that, this plugin is a free plugin, and one of the restrictions of it is you can't be sending through a mesh, it must be a poly. So I'm just going to convert it to an edit poly, and we're going to send it over. Smurfberry says, that's because Blender's UV tools suck butt. You said it, not me. See, now if I'd said that, Smurfberry Barbecue, you would have accused me of being in league with the corporate overlords to force you all into buying software, that exorbitantly priced software you can't afford. Max's UV tools are actually quite good. They're not great, because this software that you see here now, the guy that wrote this software, a few years ago now, Autodesk purchased the rights to incorporate some of the algorithms this guy wrote that does the unwrapping, and that's actually built into Max. Now, it's not as up-to-date as the program here, which is why I use the program, but Max's UV unwrapping isn't too bad, but not as good as this software. Cookie says, someday someone will program a robot to do all of our UVs for it. Now, having said that, actually, I wanted to point out, if you are a Max user, a Max 2021 has recently been released. Now, I haven't installed that yet because I'm still using 2020. I always like to leave it a little while, and the studio don't encourage us to upgrade to the very latest versions, even though we can as part of, because the studio pays for Max for me. They don't recommend it because Autodesk have a habit of releasing some software that can be a bit buggy sometimes. So we always like to stay with a nice stable release of Max. But one of the upcoming features in Max 2021 is an overhaul of the automatic unwrap tools in Max. And they're going to be making it a little bit more like the program you see in front of me now, where it does an automatic... they're going to update the algorithms to do automatic unwrapping. So I'm looking forward to that, see what they do with that in Max 2021. That'll be really cool. If it means that if it's good enough, I won't probably have to use Rhizome anymore. I probably still will, because I do like the software, but there's a lot of new things coming up in Max 2021. So, but I'd hold off a little while longer before installing it, just to make sure all the bugs are ironed out. But you're right, Cookie. I think someday someone will program a robot to do it all for us. Smurfberry says, although some add-ons make it better. And there are a lot of free add-ons for Max as well if you are a Max user. So free scripts you can download from places like ScriptSpot and stuff. Sniper Girl says, all hail our corporate overlords. That's right. Dear, oh dear. You see how quick that was to unwrap? Just so simple, which is why I love the software. I'm just going to send that back to Max. Okay, let's do one of the little clips here. We should be able to get this cigar box knocked off quite quickly. It's relatively simple. And then I think what we'll do is we might work on a gramophone, and one of those old-timey gramophones. Just for something a bit different. Instead of doing a bit of furniture like the week before last, because last week I was off for Easter, we worked on the main desk for the study. So instead of doing furniture, we'll do a gramophone, I think. Smurfberry says, I found a decent script for contextual edge loop ring selection in Blender that makes it work like Maya, but it had issues, so I've spent a couple of weeks fixing it up and making it better. Wow, you should release that in Smurfberry. I'm sure a lot of other people would appreciate any improvement that you made to it, if you want. I encourage you guys, look, I know when you work on, particularly if you're doing programming, it can take a lot of effort and time and work to actually write a program or a plugin, so say for Max, because I've done that myself. But giving it away can be a really nice way to give something back to the community, if that floats your boat. So I encourage everyone, if they do write something for a piece of 3D software, if they're able to, that you should release it to the general public for everyone to use. Snappy Girl says, nice. Smurfberry says, although I'm adding even more changes that are more extreme, so I don't know if he'd accept all the changes. Well, you can only ask. See, now a lot of you might be thinking, well, if I put all this work into writing a script, why shouldn't I sell the script? I'm not saying you shouldn't sell it, but if you're modifying somebody else's code, well, then you really can't sell it unless the code is open source. And if the code is open source, I don't think you're allowed to sell it then anyway, because you're using open source code. So there's that little gotcha there. So just bear that in mind too. If you do write something and you based it on open source, you're not supposed to sell it. You're meant to give it away. Having said that, the plugin that I wrote for Max was not open source. I actually wrote it, but I gave that away. So you can still probably find it online. It's a plugin that used to take animated models from Eon View, the software you guys know. I use View to do beauty renders for environment work. It used to take animated plants from that program so you could import them into 3D Studio Max, because there was no way to get an animated plant at that stage into Max. You can do it easily now with Alembic. So you export your Alembic file from View and you import that into Max. Or there are other programs like SpeedTree where you can export an animated FBX and stuff. So the plugin's not really that necessary anymore, but I did write it a long time ago, so it was necessary back then. And Maxscript, which is a scripting language that Max uses to make their plugins, or you can use C#. It's actually quite easy to use, so if you do want to sort of try your hand at doing some scripting in Max, you should give it a go. I sound like an advertisement for Autodesk, don't I? My corporate overlord Autodesk. Smurfberry said it could be sold, but it's a bit unscrupulous. You can sell open source, but you're not supposed to. It's the whole point of it being open source. You're using somebody else's code and making money on it. That's not good. I don't advise you guys do that. You can be unscrupulous, Smurfberry, and I guess you could, but I would not suggest it, and I don't think it's the right thing to do. Smurfberry says, what you're selling is your time and effort, I suppose not the code, but since most of this add-on was written by others, the ethics would be questionable. Yes, it would be very questionable if other people have written the code and you're going to make money on it. How is that fair to them? It's not, so don't do it. You've been told. Phil says no. But who listens to Phil anyway? Nobody, that's who, nobody. Now I know a lot of you are going to look at this and think, why on earth is he modeling screws in mesh? Why doesn't he just use a texture map for that? Well, yeah, you know, smart asses, I could. But again, this is a cigar box. It's actually going to be an item you can pick up for as part of the inventory. So when you pick it up as part of the inventory, you can actually zoom right up close to it. And for that reason, I didn't want to fake it with a texture map. I wanted to actually have a little bit more realism to the model. So, don't question me is what I'm saying. Don't question me. Smart ass. Yes, that's right, Smurfberry. More like smart. Smurfberry says, Sniper Girl, back me up here. She won't back you up. Not when it comes to that. She calls me old granddad half the time. So we mapped everything. We've done that. Have we done that? Yes, we've done that. Yes, we've done that. Yes, and we've done that. Okay, we're all UV mapped now. Okay, let's start attaching everything together and then we can do some vertex coloring and then we'll texture it up in Substance Painter. Sniper Girl says, no, just pops an old man. Oh, there you go. That's right. She just calls me Pops an old man. Okay, let's attach the latch, the plate, and the latch. We don't want to attach the cigars. Now we can start vertex coloring these different bits and pieces. Do I want the lid to be a different color from the box? Probably not. They should really all be the same wood. So let's make that color red, because why not? And then we want this plate to be a different texture map color. Let's make that an aqua. And then we can make the screws a separate material. So let's make those blue, purpley blue. And then we've got the latches, which will make the same material. And let's make that a yellow. We should be good. Okay, so we're going to call this one Cigar Box. Let's just save our project. And let's export our model. I did go, you know how we did the desk a few weeks ago and we were doing those leather inset pieces on the top of the desk? I did go back later on in Photoshop and I just put a gold edging around the outside of those leather pieces because it just helped to lift the top of the desk up a little bit. Yeah, so I did that. I put the gold edging around in Photoshop and I also just did a little bit more distressing on parts of the leather to make it look a little bit more worn. I did that in Photoshop because it was quicker and easier than doing it in Substance Painter. Could have done it in Painter, but Photoshop was easier, quicker. And we're going to call this Cigar Box. You'll get to see it when we jump into actually putting the study together in the game engine. Let's jump into Substance Painter and create a new project. Not sure if my mouse is playing up. It doesn't seem to click sometimes. Compute tangent space. Okay, let's bake out our maps. I'm probably going to save this texture map as a 1024, but I'm going to bake out these curvature maps as 2048. I'm using the low poly as the high poly. Something does not look quite right. What have I missed? What? Oh, I know what I've missed. Okay, let's jump back into Max. We have to do a repack on the UVs. Good job, that's right. Yes, no. We have to do a repack on the UVs. I forgot that step. So that's easy. We do an unwrap UVW. We select all of our UVs. I'll use this pack tool. And we just repack it all. Now all we got to do is re-export it. I always forget something. You guys know I always forget something. And just update our project. Rebake our maps. And that looks much better. Let's just rename the material. We're going to call this cigar box. And let's jump to the smart materials I've created for the actual game, because I'm sure we can reuse one of these. Let's have a look at this one. Let's just remove the blank layer from the bottom. Let's have a look at our mask here. What I might do here is I might just jump to the underlying layer and just darken that up a little bit. Let's mask by color selection. Okay, let's throw down another material on top of this one again. And let's go with what do I want to go with? Must remember, wash your hands and don't touch your face. And I always touch my face. It's such a hard habit to get out of. At least Phil can buy toilet paper now. Plenty of toilet paper around. Which is a good thing. I got down to my last 2 rolls. It was not looking good. No problem, Smurfberry. Well, I'm just looking for another wood that I can throw on this one that's a little bit different. And then we can do a blend between the 2 of them. Let's have a look at this one. Sniper Girl says back and ended up getting something to eat. Ah, okay. What did you get to eat, Sniper Girl? I'm not sure what I'm going to have for lunch. I actually had a peanut butter sandwich just before the stream because I was starving. And it's early in the morning. I start the stream here at 10 a.m. in the morning in Australia. And I normally don't eat until like 2 in the afternoon if I remember to eat. But this morning I was starving. So I had a peanut buttered sandwich. So like, you know, I can eat peanut butter by the spoonful. I love peanut butter. It's incredibly fattening and I really shouldn't, but man, I love peanut butter. Some soup. Ooh, yum. Soup. I like soup too. Let's see if we can get a blend happening between these two materials. So let's go to our smart masks. Which one do I want? Let's go with the good old surface worn. Let's see what that gets us. Again, I'm going to group both of these together. Let's try that, take two. I'm going to group both of these together, not remove the layers, but group the layers. And we're going to mask with color selection again. Okay. And let's play with our blending a little bit. This one. Sniper Girl says to Smoker, regarding to selling modded open source, no clue. I haven't studied the law, so I don't know the legality of it. Look, I wouldn't. If nothing else, it's just you didn't write the code. You shouldn't make money on it. It's not your code. Somebody else spent time writing it. Now, if you've maybe altered the code a lot, well, that might be a bit different, but I generally wouldn't advise you try and make money off other people's work. And I just don't know legally if it's open source. I don't know if you're allowed to. Well, you're not meant to anyway. I'll just pull up on the world space. I'm just going to play with the blending as well, just to see if we can get, like, I don't mind that, but I just want to see if we play with the blending, if we can get an interesting mix going on. I actually quite like that blend. It's giving the cigar box a little bit more of a reddish wood color. You can see it more through the interior here. We are losing a lot of the distressing along the edges though. Which I quite like.
Let's take a journey somewhere far, you and I, let's get out this place. A one-way ticket to the stars, follow our hearts, go without a trace. 'Cause we got something red, nobody.
Maybe if we go with this one, which is sort of, we still get out of distressing, but the wood is not quite as red, but it does darken the wood up a little bit. Because cigars always look nice, always look cool in a dark wooden box. Because the cigars are quite like a light brown, so the contrast between the light brown of the cigar and the wood will look better against the darker wood colour. Yeah. Let's move to doing the plate here. Let's go with. Let's have a look at this one. No, I don't like that one. Let's have a look at this one. I'm only looking at the gold, at the square plate here. Forget the rest of it because that's wood. I'm just really looking at this metallic plate that's on the lid. And I don't really like that either. What else we got? No, I don't like that. No, I don't like that. Meh. Meh. I really should do a save if this doesn't crash out. Let's do a quick save, just be on the safe side. What about this one? No. What about this one? Maybe. Let's see what the masks are doing. Maybe. Let's do a mask with color selection so we're not distracted by everything else going on. Let us throw down just turn that off temporarily. I just want to have a look at this one. Yeah, this is interesting as well. Let's group these together. And again, we're going to mask with color selection. Okay, let's play with the mixing a little bit. I'm just trying to find the layer. It's this one. I'm just going to turn off the hide information for that underlying layer. Okay. Now let's throw a smart mask down. And let's go with, let's try this one. Let's go with another smart mask. Let's try... let's try this one. Okay, let's do a quick save. Now these screws. Let's have a look at this one. Let's mask with color selection again. Pick the screws. I'm just going to throw an underlying material underneath of that. If I can find one I like. Let's have a look at this one. Yeah, I don't actually like that. Let's choose something else. What about this one? This one might work. Let's group these together. I'm going to mask with color selection on that group. Let's do it on a smart mask. We'll go with surface worn. It should be fine. Do a quick save. And last but not least, we've got our little latches there. So let's jump back into our smart materials. Sniper Echo, good to see you, buddy. How are you? I hope you're well. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're surviving your lockdown like the rest of us. It's good to see you. I'm doing really well. Yeah, no, good. I had a good week off last week over Easter. I slept and slept and slept. Lots of sleep. Oh, and I want to thank Tamana. Sorry, Tamana, I didn't notice. Thanks for the resub for the 34-month subscription, Tamana. You are awesome. Thank you very much. Sorry, I didn't notice it earlier. But I'm good. I hope you're good too, Sniper Echo. Yeah, so you're doing okay? You're holding in there like the rest of us in these strange times we're living in? Let's have a look at this one. Let's mask with color selection and pick the latch. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into our materials and just pick a material that's like a gold. A plain gold. Maybe something like this bronze actually. This bronze might be cool. Let's throw that down. Let's group both of these together. Again, let's mask with color selection. Sniper Echo says, doing great. So you're doing okay? That's good to hear. Yes, it's trying times for all of us. Stuck at home. Hopefully you didn't eat too much chocolate over Easter, Sniper Echo. I was saying I didn't, but I ended up getting a pimple anyway. You guys know if chocolate so much as touch my lips, I will break out in pimples like nobody's business. I don't know why, and it's only chocolate that does it. I can gorge myself on Oreos or anything else sweet, but the minute I eat chocolate, I break out. Which is a shame because I love chocolate so much. Love it, love it, love it. Sniper says, wow, 60 hours, the job going well then? I should talk about Sniper Echo, I think. 60 hours, Sniper Girl, man, that is a lot of hours. Well, yeah, when those deliverables are coming due, when you work in the games industry, it's half of the cost to be working a lot of hours. Just looking, that's the one I want there. I'm just going to increase the tiling a little bit on that. Play with our mixing a little bit more. Let's do a quick save. Sniper Girl says I get paid overtime, so I won't complain when I get paid. That is nice. Oh, you're hourly, not salary, that's very nice, Sniper Girl. Hourly rate instead of a salary. Very nice. All the work. As much work as they can throw at you if they're paying you hourly. Let's export these textures for our cigar box. And we're going to export them as a 1K texture. It should be plenty. If it's not, when we bring it into the engine, we can always open up our project again and re-export our textures. Okay, let's jump back into Max. And just so we can get an idea of what it's going to look like, I'm going to... Max is so slow when Substance is open in the background. We're just going to bring in the texture map. Let's go with a physical material. No, that's the wrong one. It's actually the texture map for the cigars. We want this one. And we want this one. And we want this one. So this is the metallic, this is the roughness, and this is the color. It still won't look like it does inside of Substance Painter because we don't have a HDRI map or anything inside of the Unreal Engine, inside of Max. But it'll give us an idea of what our cigar box will look like. It just won't be quite as pretty as what it will be when we bring it into Unreal. I just really want to check the difference in colour between the cigars and the actual wood. Decide if I want to change the colour of the wood at all. Sniper Girl says, one thing's for sure, I'm just working 40 hours this week. You say that now, that's right. Sniper Echo says, but you know you love this work too much. That's right, she does. We're all a glutton for punishment, aren't we? Just going to jump back into Substance Painter. Yeah, I think once we get it into the Unreal Engine and we get the proper reflection happening, the wood color does change slightly, so I think it'll be okay. I was just in Max, it looked a little dark to me, but that's simply because we're not getting proper reflections happening. I think it'll be good. I'm just going to export these cigars. Just trying to work out whether I want to attach these together. I think I do. Yeah, I think I do. I'm just going to do a save on this version of the project. And then I'm going to attach... Actually, what I'm going to do before I do an attach for the export, I'm going to just change this from a physical material to a standard material. Just so we don't have any issues when we import this into the Unreal Engine. Didn't change the look of it really at all, so let's collapse our stack. And let's attach the cigars. And let's export our mesh. We'll call this one Cigar Box COMP for complete. And we'll do a save as revision number 2. Okay. Your back's Mercury. Okay, let's work on something else now. Let's open up... we were going to do the... We could either do the fireplace or we could do the gramophone. Maybe the Gramophone. So this is our Gramophone. Now again, I want to point something out here with this Gramophone. You'll see the back here is black. Basically what's going on here is there are no polygons on the back face. And again, I've done that to do some poly reduction on the model. So when we bring this into Substance Painter, we'll see the front, but when we rotate our model, we won't see anything here. It'll be transparent, probably see-through. And again, what I'll end up doing is when we jump into Unreal and I create the material for it, I'll create a two-sided material, and that will fix that problem up in Unreal. But it means we can halve the poly count for this bit by not having polys on the back-facing section of the model. So that's the reason for that. Okay, but we have to UV map this up before we can use it, so let's start doing that. I guess we'll start with the box and work our way up. So let's, whoops, wrong button. Let's send this over to Horizon. Actually, I came across, for anyone that's a Max user, let's just pause here for a sec. Anyone that's a Max user, I came across a plugin, a free plugin. You guys know how I like to add ivy growing up on all of my models and stuff. And when I upgraded to Max 2020, the guy that used to write the free plugin I used to use never updated it for anything beyond Max 2018, I think it was. And I really missed the plugin. Well, there is a new plugin you can download now. It's this one here. It's called Grow Ivy. It's a similar name to the old Grow Ivy plugin, but it does the same thing, and it's an updated version of that plugin. It's completely free to download. You can install it in versions of Max, I believe, from 2016 up to 2020. So yeah, I haven't actually played around with it very much yet. I have it installed, but I haven't used it. I just thought I'd point that out to you guys so that if you guys wanted to check it out, you can. I'm just trying to find his web address here. I'm just checking it off stream to see if this is the one. Programs. Oh, it is. So what I'll do is I'll pop this link into Twitch chat in 2 seconds. And show you guys on stream as well. So this is again for people that use Max, of course. Ivy plugin. And we'll just check the website out on stream. It's completely free. It's the same sort of dealy as the last plugin that you used to be able to download for Max that was free. And it's really cool. You can grow ivy on your models. It actually looks like it's an updated version, so it's faster as well at doing the actual growing, which is always nice. Stop touching your face. Now you can support him by making a donation, but you don't have to. You just give him an email address and he'll let you download the plugin completely free. So if you're a Max user and you want to grow ivy on your models, then by all means check the website out and download it and download the plugin. I recommend it. These are just comments which I haven't read actually of people that have been using it. I think somebody asked if they could use it in Maya, but he's a Max user, so it's only available for Max. So there you go. There is that. Because I miss the old plugin. I used to use it all the time. Anyway, back to what we were doing. select you, send you over to Rhizome. Actually, as I've been looking at a few forums in this country, in Australia, and no one can buy web cameras because everybody's working from home. Everybody's doing video conferencing now, whether they use Skype or Zoom. Don't use Zoom, by the way. It's incredibly insecure. Or WebEx or whatever. Whether they're using WebEx, Skype or whatever. No one can buy a web camera. They've all sold out. Do remember though too, if you can't buy a web camera and you need a camera, you can use your phone camera. There's apps and stuff you can install on your phone where you can send it to your computer and use your phone as a video camera. So if you are having a problem finding a video camera and you need one for talking to your loved ones or for work while you're locked in your house, you can use your phone. Actually, I wanted to ask Sniper Girl, how are you finding the new camera? Because Sniper Girl she popped some images on the Phil Does 3D Discord server. If you haven't joined, you should join the Discord server. Click the graphic in my panels below my stream for a link, or type !Discord in Twitch chat. You can get an invite link that way. She's bought a new camera. I'm just curious as to how it's going. You're liking the new camera, Sniper Girl? Sniper Girl says, liking it though I need a different lens. Came with a zoom lens. Yeah. If you're doing photogrammetry work, which Sniper Girl is doing with a new camera, the mirrorless camera, the Sony I believe, which is a lovely camera, you don't want to be using zoom lenses. You want a standard lens because the software can't triangulate for the photogrammetry if you use a zoom lens. The same goes for, you don't want to do any image processing on any of the photos you take if you want to use them for photogrammetry, because if you start image processing them, then that can affect the triangulation for the position of the cameras when the software tries to work out where the camera was for the 3D before it starts to recreate the 3D model. Okay, let's move on to you. And again, if you want to do photogrammetry, try and take your photographs when it's overcast, not when there's direct sunlight, because you're going to get shadows baked into your texture maps. There is software you can use, and I've downloaded it. It's called Delighter by Agisoft. Agisoft make photogrammetry software as well called Metashape, and they created a free 3D program called Delighter. You can use that to remove shadows from the model, but the best way to do it is to actually take the photographs when it's overcast. It's easier, and the result is better anyway than trying to remove the shadows after the fact. Just a tip for those people that do want to do photogrammetry. I know Sniper Girl knows all about this, but I'm just saying it for other people. Android Lust, are you in the chat? I don't see Android Lust. Am I missing something? Oh, Android Lust, thank you for the subscription for 27 months. Man, you guys and girls have been with me forever. Have I really been streaming for that long on Twitch? Has it really been that long? 27 months for Android Lust and 34 months for Tamana. How long have I been streaming? Because it feels like just, it doesn't feel like, it must be at least 3 years. Longer than 27, Android Lust. It's good to see you, Android Lust. How are you? Did you have a good Easter? Are you hanging in there in the social isolation going on? I really like the Android Lust as well. Put some images up in the gallery on the Discord server. I really like the waiter model that you did. I'll show that on stream toward the end of the stream. Remind me if I forget Android Lust, because you know what Phil's mind's like. I really like, I love the model for the waiter that you made, and I do want to show it. It does look really cool. So yeah, longer than 27 months. I know. How long have I been streaming? Android Lust says, I had an isolated Easter. We all did, Android Lust. You're not alone. We all had isolated Easters. I know for a lot of people it's maybe if you got family and stuff, you get together at Easter time. I don't generally do that anyway, because I'm anti-social Phil. But I know for a lot of people Easter was hard for them because they had to stay locked in their houses. They couldn't attend church services if that's what they're into, all that sort of jazz. So yeah, so we all had an isolated Easter and we're all isolating at home and trying to stay safe and corona and human malware free. Sniper says, I'm still without hardware. You're not the only one, Sniper Echo. I ordered a package that's coming 3 suburbs away from me, okay? I'm sorry to hear that you're still without your hardware, Sniper Echo. That sucks. And I'm saying that because I know what it's like now because I ordered some stuff to be delivered to my house coming from 3 suburbs away. So maybe no more than, 15 kilometers or let's say 10 miles away if you're an American. It has taken 2 weeks for the package to arrive and it's still not here. It's still held up in the postal depot, in limbo. So I can relate. 2 weeks it's taken and it's only 10 miles away and I still haven't got it. But that sucks, you still haven't got your hardware, Sniper Echo. Mercury says package, parcel. I don't know what you guys in America call it. We call it a package here, parcel. Mail, a box that comes that comes with the postman. UPS, whatever you guys use in the United States. We have Australia Post here. And it's Australia Post. It's been held up in their depot for 2 weeks. It is coming from 10 miles away. Sniper Echo says, I can barely run Blender fill and by barely I mean I can make the cube. Oh no. Oh, that sucks, dude. Android Lost says, sounds tough for you non-Americans with shipping. Well, I know in Australia here it is. It's terrible. I don't know what our Australia Post are doing, but yeah, look, I know it's tough times at the moment. A lot of people are ordering online because they can't leave their house. So a lot of people are posting stuff everywhere. I get it. I understand. But come on. 2 weeks to come 10 miles? It would have been quicker for me to walk there and back. Anyway, it's non-urgent, but, I'd like it. I'd like to know it hasn't gone missing in the mail somewhere or it's not in a ditch somewhere because some postman decided he just didn't feel like delivering it. I put in a request to our Australia Post to find out what's going on. That was 3 days ago and I haven't heard anything back, so I don't know. I guess eventually they'll get back to me. But not being able to, just barely running Blender with a cube, Sniper Echo, that sounds tough. That would drive me up the wall. First world problems, I guess, though, isn't it, guys? First world problems. There are people with a lot worse problems than just us not getting our packages quickly enough. Doesn't make it any easier, but yeah, I know that there are people with worse problems. But I want my package. Andrew Lost says, I thought Blender can run nearly anything. Rendering, on the other hand, no. Sniper Echo says, most of my hardware took so long to get out of some depot that it was sent back to the supplier. Man, that would be infuriating. That would drive me up the wall. Because then you got to get it all sent back again, and man. Yeah, I just don't know what choice we've got. Because if they won't let us out of our house, really the only way we can get our stuff is to get it delivered. And, getting stuff delivered in these days is proving very difficult. Just not sure if I'm going to... Just want to see if there's a better unwrap we can get. Let's see how we go. So that sucks, Sniper Echo, having it sent back to the depot because it's sent back to the supplier because it's sat in the depot for so long. Sniper says, yeah, I'm running it on a tablet as we speak, but rendering is what I'm trying to do and baking maps. Android Lost says, yeah, I would be salty. That would double the shipping time. Yeah, it would. And trying to run Blender on a tablet, that wouldn't be fun, I imagine, Sniper Echo, at all. Trying to run any 3D program on a tablet would not be fun. Okay, I'm going to use this, and I'm going to see... I'm going to see if we can stitch this up a little bit. So I'm going to keep the seam underneath here. I'm going to see if we can stitch these ones. Yes, this is a problem we're going to run into with this stitching. We can try doing an optimize on that part of the mesh. That's better. Let's stitch. Let's stitch this one as well. Sniper Echo says, yep, my laptop is on the way out and I'm trying to render stuff. Sniper says, I expect it to just die any moment within a week now. Let's hope not. Then you won't be able to do anything. And that will be worse. Okay, let's stitch that. Wow. Let's try doing an optimize on the mesh. We're getting some... we're having a bit of an issue here. You know what, for this I think what I'm going to do is I might... What's the best way to tackle this? We may have to do a bit of splitting inside of the UV map. Slice it. Slice it to an unwrap. It's one of those really weird meshes again.
comes and goes, breaks my heart, no one knew. Didn't wanna go. Out here, I'm all alone. Didn't wanna go. I wanna turn back the time and let you know.
Smurfberry says it probably will. Snowy Reco says, I'm going to get one of those analog PCs soon. That will not fail me. Dude. I'm not actually happy with any of this, so I'm just going to... I don't like the way any of this unwrapping is going on with this mesh. So what I'm going to do is just going to close out of this. I'm going to send it back over again. I'm going to see if I can separate the mesh into its pieces before I do an unwrap. So let's isolate. And let's isolate. We're getting a little stretching happening, but nothing that we can't deal with. That should be fine. And let's isolate. Now this one I'm actually going to do by hand. It'll get a better result, I think, if I do it by hand. I'm trying to get the program to do it automatically. So we'll just start by removing the top bits. And the bottom bit. I can't even get my hair cut. I don't know. You guys are gonna start to see me look very, very scruffy, because normally where I get my hair cut, they're closed. I can't get my hair cut. That's why it's looking a bit long at the moment. I would have normally had it cut by now. Smurfberry says, yeah, but rendering on those takes forever and mechanical parts still wear out. Android Lust says, Rhizome doesn't like doing good unwraps on simple. No, depending on the object, it can sometimes just lose its mind. I don't know why. It just has a real problem. And for this one, I'm going to do the cut on the underside. So, yeah, I don't know why. Sometimes it can unwrap really complex geometry very nicely, usually. But really simple geometry, it really can have a problem with. My apologies if you guys can hear that in the background. Somebody's drilling by the sound of it. Don't know where. Again, we're getting a little bit of stretching happening on there, but that should be okay. And down here. Sniper Girl says, going to get a few things done. No problem, Sniper Girl. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the stream. No problem. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. Don't work too hard or too long, Sniper Girl. But it was good to see you. I'm glad you're holding up okay and you had a good Easter. Let's send this back to Max. And let's move on to, let's do this bit. Let's send it over to Horizon. The turntable for the gramophone. Send it back. Okay, let's do the little needle for the gramophone. Now I'm going to be keeping this separate. And again, you shouldn't be watching these streams if you're going to buy the game and play it and you don't want any spoilers. I'm not going to show you where things are hidden in the game, but for instance, now I'm going to tell you that I'm keeping this piece here separate because in the game that won't be with this gramophone. You're going to have to find that and put it on the gramophone in order to play a record, which will then trigger something else happening in the game. So that's the reason I'm keeping the little needle here as a separate object, because it will be something that you'll need to find and then attach to the gramophone in order to play a record, which will also be not with the gramophone, but you'll have to find somewhere else. So let's do the record first. We'll UV map that. You can't tell it's the record because it's the same color, but it is a record sitting on top of the gramophone. Spoilers, Android Lust. I know, but I did warn you guys and girls, if you don't want spoilers, you should not be watching these dev streams. While I'm working on the game, you shouldn't be watching. Okay, this piece is separate at the moment, but that, because initially I was trying to decide how many pieces I wanted people to have to find, but you're only going to have to find that, the needle part and the actual record. Everything else will be attached. But keeping it separate just helps us UV map it anyway in the meantime. I'm just going to do a quick save here just to be on the safe side. Let's send that over to Ryzen. Android Lust says, yeah, I have an RTX card for ray tracing now. Nice. Did you guys see the new NVIDIA DLSS 2.0? It looks really, really cool. You know how DLSS wasn't, what's the word I'm looking for here? I want to be diplomatic. Didn't get a great reception when NVIDIA first released it, when they released the RTX cards. Well, now that NVIDIA have released version 2 of that, it looks amazing. Using the cores on the RTX cards to do this DLSS, they've done a really nice job. Looks really cool. The games that are using it, it looks really, really good. And that's only something you can use on an RTX card, I'm afraid. Yeah, do check it out. Because what it means is it allows the game to run with higher quality visuals at a higher frame rate. So it's like it renders the game at a lower resolution, and then it uses the hardware on the RTX cards to add the detail back. Now, I know you're probably thinking, well, that's not good. If it's a lower resolution and then adding the detail back to give me a higher resolution, I'm going to lose detail. You don't. I've looked into it. It looks really cool. So yeah, and the benefit to us as games players is we can get higher frame rates. We can run our games with high graphics settings and still keep a good frame rate. So it is. They've done a really, really nice job. It looks very cool. You should check it out. It's not available in every game yet, though. Games have to be written to support it. It's not hard. We're looking into it as part of the game studio for the game that we're making. It's not hard to implement in your game, but developers have to specifically implement it in their game in order for you to be able to use it. And you have to have an RTX card. It won't work on anything that's not RTX. So GTX cards, you can't run it on DLSS 2. or one, I don't think. I think any DLSS, because it uses the cores of the RTX card, the special cores, the new cores that NVIDIA added, which aren't available on GTX. You need an RTX card. Android Lost there sounds like trying to future-proof RTX cards. Well, maybe, but they did introduce it when they first introduced RTX cards. DLSS was part of that. It was ray tracing and DLSS, which was the AI upscaling thing. But NVIDIA have just improved it from version 1, which is what it was when they released the RTX cards, to version 2 now. Because version 1 used to require NVIDIA to actually run the game through their servers to get it to be optimized for DLSS. Version 2, they don't need to do that anymore. No game has to be specifically optimized. It can do it on the fly. And it's very cool. It is very cool. Trust me. Trust me. I can't really go into detail about it, but I've been playing with it and it is very cool. There it is. And we all want to run our games at higher and higher graphics levels and still get good frame rates. So that's what it's all about, really. I'm just going to do a bit of stitching here and there. I have no idea why it's broken this mesh up like this. It's quite odd. I think what I might do is... Okay, it looks like the mesh is split. I'm going to jump back into Max and have a look at what's going on there. I'm just going to go into isolation mode. I've just cleared the smoothing groups on that as well. And because I want to look at the mesh here. Let's just attach that so I can get a better look at it. And isolate it again. Okay, let's unisolate it. Looks like I've missed a spot. Same with this bit. Android Lost says, I almost went with an AMD card. I haven't tried many games with this card yet, but GPU rendering is crazy now. And it's only going to get better with the new with the new console systems coming out soon, if they stay on track for their release dates. The end of this year, around Christmas time, they're all going to be ray trace capable. So the PS5 and the new Xbox X, you're going to be able to do ray tracing. All the games will support ray tracing. So that's the way that everything is going now. And you know, if it's on consoles, then it'll take off on PCs then as well. Just going to detach that piece. So now we want that, and we want that. We want to attach those two together. So yeah, future-proofing by buying an RTX card was a good idea, I think. Android Lost says, I rendered a 4K image in 2 minutes versus a 1440p CPU render that took 23 minutes. What software are you using, Android Lost, to do your rendering? Android Lost says, I was pretty lucky, to be honest. I don't have to order the card or go inside a store to get it. You didn't have to order the card or go inside a store to get it. How did you get it? Did it just magically appear in your machine? How did that happen? Explain. I want to know. The Sniper says, I'm on week 3 of render on the tablet. Oh no. 1440p, Sniper Echo says. Gabbo, what you doing, Gabbo? Good to see you. How are you? How was your Easter, Gabbo? And it's good to see you. You asking me what I'm working on? I'm working on a gramophone, if that's what your question is. So I'm basically working on a gramophone for a game that I'm working on, The House on the Hollow. And I'm working on the little bit that plays the record here at the end. I'm just doing some fixing up a few bits and pieces on the mesh. Android Lust says, the Sniper, it seems like it's been a month or two even to get your hardware. It's over 2 months, Sniper Echo says. Man, that'll drive me nuts. Nuts, I tell you. Gabbo says, what type of style you're going for with this asset? Well, it's to suit the game that I'm working on with the game studio. So if I jump to here and we go to the games website, and we go to the Steam store page for the games website. So thehouseonthehollow.com is where the games website is, and you can wishlist the game on Steam. You can have a look here at the style of the, there are a couple of videos, and then you can look at the style that we're going for with the game. So it's Art Nouveau, Art Deco type style for the building and for the game. So yeah, thehouseonthehollow.com. There's a graphic below my stream and my panels. That says The House on the Hollow wishlist on Steam. If you click that, it'll take you to the Steam store page as well. But you can see what the game is like on Steam, probably better than anywhere else. So 2 months, Sniper Echo, that would drive me up the wall. Android Lost says, I use Arnold for my renders, for most renders. The store I got it from has curbside pickup. So I bought it online and drove to the store to pick it up without going in. That's cool. I don't think there are any stores in this country that have curbside pickup for computer stuff. That'd be really cool. Gabbo says, and what engine you're using to build a game? I'm using Unreal Engine 4. So UE4, the latest version of UE4. That's not just me. I'm working with a game studio, and so it's not all just my work. There are other people involved as well. Android Lost. Gamebryo, he says he's using the Gamebryo engine. Don't you? Oh, you get a fill slap for that. You get the stink eye to begin with. Android Lost, Gamebryo. You get a stink eye for that comment. Gabbo says, I love Unreal Engine. I do too. Yeah, no, Unreal's great. It's a great engine. It is. Epic have done a really nice job. Android. The Sniper says 16 times the detail. Yeah, but 2 months, waiting over 2 months, I would be climbing the wall, Sniper. I would absolutely be climbing the wall. Where's the button I'm looking for? There it is. That's better. Let's jump back out. I'm actually going to I might just, instead of trying to get Rhizome to UV map this as one object, because I think Rhizome it's having a bit of it didn't do a bad job, but it's having a few issues here and there. It might be better for us to try and do it as individual pieces. So we're just going to jump back into Max, and I'm going to just break this up a little bit temporarily, just so we can UV map it a bit more easily. So Rhizome has a bit of an easier job UV mapping it. And we can reattach it all again after the fact, after we've UV mapped it. It should probably be enough. We should be able to work from there. So let's start with this piece here and send that over to Rhizome. Gabos, sorry, I'm calling you Gabo. Gabos says, I'm a 3D artist too. I make stylized assets. Cool. What do you use? What software do you use, Gabos? 2 months is too long. So sorry, Android Lust says the Sniper. Gabos says, isn't it too high poly to be such a small piece? No, not really. It's going to be a piece that you can actually, it's not going to be a piece that comes pre-attached to the Gramophone. It's an object you have to find in the game to attach to the Gramophone. And because it's an object that you can pick up and add in your inventory, part of the inventory in the game is you can zoom right up close to the object. So because you can do that, I don't want the object to be too low poly, because then it's going to look really rubbish when you're looking at it inside the inventory. So that's the reason it's higher poly than it would be if it was attached to the Gramophone from the beginning. So it's not going to be, it's something you find and you pick up and you add to your inventory. And when you add it to your inventory, you can inspect it close up. So I want it to be a high detail. Android Lost says to Gabos, it's a semi-important asset. Yes, that's right. Gabos says I use Blender, Zbrush, Substance Painter. Oh, I'm glad. I was worried I wasn't explaining it properly, but I'm glad you get it. That's the reason it's high poly. Blender, yep, Blender's great software. Free 3D software, very good software. Zbrush, of course, which don't get me started on Zbrush. Don't ask the guys what I think about Zbrush. Look, it's a great program. I just don't like my apologies for that drilling going on in the background there. I just don't like the interface of Zbrush, but it's good at what it does. Substance Painter, which I'm going to be using shortly to texture up this asset, which is, again, also very good software. And we have been using Substance Painter, like I said, to do our texturing. Man, these people with their drilling. They're driving me insane. Insane, I tell you. Again, I'm just going to do some cleanup work here and stitch a couple of these together. Gabos says Blender is amazing. ZBrush has a non-friendly user interface, but once you get used to it, you can make some crazy stuff. No, you can. I agree. ZBrush is good at what it does. Just the interface is terrible. Sniper says, any idea why Painter can give hard edges along some seams or sharp edges? Any idea why Painter gives hard edges along some seams or sharp edges? You don't hear the drilling, Android less? Well, that's good because it's annoying the buggery out of me. I'm trying to work out what you mean, Sniper Echo. So you're saying Substance Painter is sometimes giving you hard edges along some seams. Well, that'll have something to do with your smoothing groups, I would imagine. I would have thought the only thing that would give you a hard edge is if it doesn't have a smoothing group. Because I haven't run into that problem personally in Painter. If that's what you mean, but Phil's probably not understanding what you're asking, which is, hey, let's face it, not the first time Phil doesn't understand something. We'll keep one seam there, one seam there. Let's just send that back over to Max. Let's do this piece here. I've turned smoothing groups off, and that's the reason you can see all the hard edges here. I will turn it back on again once we've UV mapped it. Sniper says, I don't know why, but my full description won't post in chat. I don't know why either. Gavos says, I get the same thing with Painter. There's no way to change that inside the program. It's something about triplanar projecting. Or you can smooth the model inside the 3D program and the project the HP model into LP smooth model. He's saying project the high poly model into the low poly model. So yeah, they're good options. Yeah, I thought that, but that doesn't work for me, Sniper Echo says. Okay, no, not that one. No, not that one. This one, but we will just do a little bit of cleanup work. Same with the bit on the end, we'll just do a little bit of cleanup. And send that back to Max. Send this one over to Ryzen. And do some cleanup. Send it back to Max. Move to this piece here. Move. Let's do some cleanup work. Let's send that back to Max. Let's work on this piece here. Gabriel says try the triplanar projection thing. There's a video on YouTube. 2 Sniper Echo. I'm going to do this in 2 parts. I don't want to try and get the program to do both sections, it'll get confused. I'm going to isolate this piece. And then we'll isolate this piece. And send that back to Max. Okay, what have we got left to do here now? This piece here. Send that back to Max. Now, what have we got left? Did we do everything? No, a couple of bits and pieces here. Let's send that over to Max. Send that over to Horizon. We're in Max. Let's use this one. Do a bit of cleanup. Wrong one. Clean this one up a little bit. Okay, let's send that back to Max. Now, have we forgotten anything? I can check by checking the modify stack. That one's been done. That one's been done. That one's been done. That one's been done. That one has been done. That one has been done. That one has been done. I think we've UV mapped them all. So, first things first, let's look at our smoothing groups here. I'm just going to throw down an edit poly and do an auto smooth on that bit. Throw down an edit poly and we'll smooth that bit. Let's throw an edit poly on that one. I'm going to select the center faces and we'll do a smooth on that. So we keep a hard edge but we smooth the inside. I'm going to go into isolation mode on this one, it'll be easier for me to see. Edit poly. Do a smooth on this. Now we can attach these pieces together again. So let's start with this bit here and attach. I don't want to smooth these. Because these are like screws, I want them to be hexagonal. I don't want them smooth. Do I? Yeah. So I'm going to attach that bit. I'll attach that bit. That bit. That bit. That bit. And the same for this. I want this to be like a screw, so I want it to stay like hexagonal. And that's good. But we need to pack our UV, so I'm going to throw down an unwrap UVW. And we're going to do a pack. Good. So we have UV mapped the base, the crank, the turntable, the record, the small piece here that sits on the end, the actual player needle. We're still going to UV map these bits here. Sniper says to Gabo, we'll try it again, thanks. And to save. And to save. Good point, Android Lust. We must make sure we save. Because I turn off auto save, and if I don't save and it crashes, which, you know, it can do, then I'm in trouble. Alrighty. Let's do that again, make sure. There we go. How's that time going? So we've only got a couple more bits to UV map and we will tackle that tomorrow, I think. I think we might call it a day today. I do want to thank you guys though for welcoming me back after my week off last week over Easter. Good to see all you guys and girls are coping and hanging in there, keeping with the social distancing and washing your hands and all that sort of stuff. I will be back on again tomorrow, of course, at 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States. We'll pick up where we left off here today and finish UV mapping up our Gramophone, and then we will take it into Substance Painter and start texturing it up. But that's tomorrow. No problem. Thank you guys very much for being here and for watching and for hanging out with me and welcoming me back after a week. I'll be back tomorrow. You guys take care, stay safe, and hopefully I'll see you all again tomorrow. See you guys.